Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have a fun little project to share with you today. So what we're going to use, if you do not have a tub of this, just air dry clay. Sometimes I'll look on walmart.com and they will have it really inexpensive. They'll have sales on it. Especially around the holidays. Grab a tub of this stuff. You can do so much with it. And I saw I think it was in a magazine. I was at Barnes & Noble and I think it was in a magazine, and it was like these clay Christmas tree ornaments, and they were expensive. And that's how I get a lot of my project ideas, and they looked homemade. It's kind of like when I go to, let's just say like Target or someplace like a nicer place, even Pottery Barn, and you see some of the artwork and you're like, I swear my, second grader could do that. It's great to get a ton of inspiration. So I will always go into the stores because that's where I find a lot of my ideas. But when you can come home and make it, it's so much better. So these little ornaments, I actually just love them. They'd be great as gift toppers as well. Or like we do baking around the holidays and kind of hand out baked, just like cookie trays and things. These would be really fun to hang on those as well. This one, don't do like I did. And you need to make sure you put the hole in if you're using it like as an ornament. So what I loved about the trees that I saw is that they looked homemade. They were not perfect. They were not, they weren't perfectly symmetrical. And that's what I loved about them. And so what I do is I roll out some of the dough, and you kind of want this thicker. I don't have a measuring. You don't want to get it too thin because they will break very easily. So the thicker, the better. And then I just take a butter knife. You could probably use like the end of a scissors too. And you're just going to make your design. Cut out your tree. Again, you could do this in so many different shapes. So if stockings are your thing, ornaments, whatever. Obviously, you could do this any old way. But I just liked the tree shape and painted different color green. That's my favorite color. So it was just perfect. And then they did kind of have the snow splattered on them, which I loved as well. And again, I don't want these to look perfect. Thank goodness, those are my kind of projects. You could also use a cookie cutter. But again, the homemade look of them, that's what I loved about them. But obviously, use a cookie cutter if you want to. So that's kind of how I did it. It's really easy when you're freehanding too in clay like this, because you can see exactly, like if you want to make them, kind of symmetrical there, you can see where you've been. And then what you're going to do is, obviously, you are going to let these completely dry. So I let them dry overnight. And at this stage right now is when you need to poke the hole in them. Do not put your hole too far up because it'll break. So you want to put a hole, right about there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just make a couple more. And then, like I said, I will let them, I'm going to get some more clay because I want to do it a little bit bigger. I will let them fully dry overnight. And then they are ready for paint and the snow. There we go. So again, you could use these to make garlands. Obviously ornaments for your tree. I'm gonna just move those out of the way before I just land on them and break them. But again, there's something about the holidays and just the homemade holiday. I love it for your home, for, if you're making Christmas cookies, those kinds of things. I just love it. So here we go. Here, let me kind of maybe do a longer one here. We'll see. I might be getting too close to that edge over here. So it might be a smaller one. And what I love about this is you can't mess it up. And this would be a really fun one for your kids to help you with as well. See kind of, especially when they're little and their little hands and what they make. This would be another good one for them. If they're too little, they, again, use cookie cutters. Kind of didn't go all the way through on those, some of those. Right there. Okay, so let's see. There we go. And then when you get it done, you know, if you have some, you can smooth out the edges, take off any excess, you know, that's usually here in the corners when I'm doing mine. But again, I don't want it perfectly perfect, if that makes sense. And the paint will, you know, hide some stuff too, but that one's really not perfect. There we go. We're gonna let these fully dry and then we'll come back and do the next part. Okay, another shape that I really, really like is just a simple triangle tree. Super simple to make. I have a little bit left here. I started doing those and I thought I should share that too. This, I mean, this could not be any simpler. Do kind of a thinner one here. You'll just come down with your knife and then you just kind of go across, and then you make your trunk. These kind of are like, they give me a Scandinavian vibe, which I really, really like. And then obviously, don't forget your hole at the top. Whoops. And that's it. So that makes it super simple. Some of these with the extra layers, I just liked how, when I saw the inspiration in the magazine, I just liked how they just looked homemade, like almost like a kid made them. And I just loved them and they were expensive. So I'm like, wait a minute, I can do this. I can do this. So, okay, now I will fully let them dry and then come back and paint them. So this is the part where you can do obviously any color. I just grabbed, you know, the green colors that we had here, just some craft paints. And so I just put a little dab on the trees themselves. And I do the backs and the fronts. Oh, I really do like this color. This is like the perfect, what is this? Campground. This is pretty. So I do the edges and I do the back as well. So wait till the front dries. And then I'll put a little too much paint. We're gonna do another one this color. Just so that it's all covered. Front, back, sides. And you can, if you want to, whoops, if you want to like shave some of this, you can try and use some sandpaper. Just be really light with it because you don't want to break your trees. But obviously you could do these in, you know, different colors. It doesn't have to be green. Green just happens to be my favorite color, so trees are perfect for what I like. But I mean, you could make these different colors. Do like bright trees. And then what I do to do the snow on the trees, which I just think it adds a little bit something else. These might need a couple coats for this color to cover it, but that's fine. Again, another easy project for the kids to help you with. I just get some white paint and then I just need a little bit on a paintbrush. And then all you're gonna do is, I forgot to grab a little dish. If you get this, if you mix your white paint with a little bit of water, it helps. But then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your thumb, and let me kind of show you, and you're gonna kind of just, you can see what oh my gosh, no, you can't see. You're just gonna, if you have water with this, it kind of goes a little further. But you're just gonna then kind of flick the paint onto all over your tree. again, use a little bit of water with your white paint, and then I would dip the end of my paintbrush to get these bigger dots. Just a couple of those. So it's mostly this for the paint or for the snow, and then I would do a couple of dots. And then just add a ribbon. And again, you can use them on the tops of trees or on the tops of gifts as you can use them as ornaments. You could string them together to make a garland. You could do so much with these. But just a fun kind of homemade, another homemade Christmas. I love homemade stuff at the holidays. I just do. And this is just another easy one that the entire family could do.